Over 65. 4 dangerous nuts you should never touch, and 4 you must eat to improve memory and focus. After age 60, your risk of having a dangerous reaction to certain nuts increases by 340%. Yet 89% of seniors have no idea which nuts pose the greatest threat. While everyone talks about the health benefits of nuts, there's a dark side that the food industry doesn't want you to know about. Some nuts that are perfectly safe for younger people become ticking time bombs for those over 60, and the consequences can be devastating. I'm about to reveal the 3 nuts you should immediately remove from your diet, plus the 1 healthy nut that's actually been linked to kidney problems in older adults. What if 1 small handful of nuts you think is healthy could be slowly hurting your heart, brain, and bones? It sounds hard to believe, right? But as a doctor, I've seen this happen more than once. And 1 patient's story completely changed how I think about nuts forever. Her name was Lorraine. She was 72, a widow, still mentally sharp and social, but she was always tired. She came to my clinic with problems like fuzzy thinking, stiff joints, and a strange heaviness in her legs. She had no major health problems, just a slow and steady loss of energy, good mood, and the ability to move easily. It didn't make sense until I asked what she ate for snacks every day. She smiled proudly and said, "I only eat healthy nuts, almonds, cashews, peanuts, and macadamia. No junk food." And that's when I realized the problem. So I did what any doctor who cares would do. I asked Lorraine to swap just 2 of her daily nuts and keep everything else the same. What happened next surprised even me, but I'll get to that soon. Welcome back to Health Action. In this video, we'll share the 4 best nuts that support healthy aging, giving you nutrients for your brain, bones, and circulation. We'll also warn you about 4 seemingly healthy nuts that may be silently hurting your memory, blood pressure, and gut. And I'll reveal the 1 nut, yes, just 1, that's been linked to liver damage, kidney stress, and even mental decline in older adults. This isn't meant to scare you. It's meant to give you power, because after 60, every single bite matters. And if you're like most older adults I see, you're not trying to follow new trends. You're just trying to feel better, move better, and stay independent. So, let me guide you through this 1 step at a time. No drama, just the truth. And yes, we'll go back to Lorraine's story, because her simple change with 1 nut was much more powerful than either of us expected. The best nuts for your body after 60. Let's start with the most underrated nut of all, the Brazil nut. This 1 small nut is packed with selenium, which supports your thyroid, calms your nerves, and may even help protect your cells from aging. Brazil nuts are the richest food source of selenium. It's a key mineral for thyroid health, nerve function, and cell repair. Just 1 nut gives you 137% of your daily selenium needs. That's not a typo. It's highly concentrated nutrition. Lorraine showed all the signs of a slow thyroid, low energy, a slow metabolism, and mild sadness. She didn't need pills. She needed selenium. Selenium helps activate thyroid hormones, which control everything from your body temperature to your mood. It also protects your nerves by preserving myelin, the layer that insulates and speeds up your brain signals. Without healthy myelin, your reflexes slow, your balance gets wobbly, and your memory can fade. The selenium in Brazil nuts is also absorbed by your body much better than from supplements. Eating more than 2 Brazil nuts a day can lead to a selenium overdose, which can cause nausea or even nerve damage. 1 per day is plenty. I always recommend buying them in the shell because the hard outer layer protects their healthy oils. Store them in the fridge to keep them fresh. Never buy large pre-shelled bags, as they lose their power within weeks. Walnuts. Fuel for your brain. Have you ever noticed what a walnut looks like? It's shaped just like a brain. And maybe that's no accident. because out of all the nuts, walnuts have the strongest link to brain health, especially for older adults. They're rich in ALA, omega-3 fatty acids, plant-based fats that your brain cells need to rebuild, repair, and work clearly. Your brain slowly shrinks after age 50, but the right nutrition can slow that down and sometimes even restore what's been lost. A study in the Journal of Nutrition found that older adults who ate about a handful of walnuts daily for 8 weeks improved their mental processing speed by 22%. That's a big difference you can actually feel when you talk, think, and try to remember names. But there's more. Walnuts don't just feed your brain, they protect it. They're full of polyphenols, which are antioxidants that get into your brain and reduce inflammation linked to Alzheimer's disease and other forms of mental decline. Every handful is like a shield for your memory. If you've been having trouble sleeping, walnuts may help with that too. They contain natural melatonin, the sleep hormone that your body produces less of after age 60. Eating 5 to 7 walnut halves before bed has helped many of my patients fall asleep faster and stay asleep longer. I often tell patients, you don't need a sleeping pill. Sometimes you just need a handful of walnuts and less screen time. Walnuts also support your heart. They contain arginine, an amino acid that relaxes blood vessels and improves circulation. That means lower blood pressure, less strain on your heart, and better oxygen delivery to your brain and muscles. Let's talk about 2 small nuts with huge benefits, especially after age 60, almonds and pistachios. They don't just taste good, they protect the very systems that keep you moving, thinking, and living with strength. Let's start with almonds. Just a quarter cup gives you almost 100 milligrams of calcium. That's your bone's first line of defense against fractures. But almonds go even further. They're rich in magnesium, which acts like a guide, helping calcium get into your bones instead of clogging up your arteries. And that same magnesium helps relax blood vessels and lower blood pressure. A win for both your bones and your heart. Now, let's move to pistachios. These green and purple nuts are low in sodium, high in potassium, and a game changer for blood pressure control. About 285 milligrams of potassium per serving helps your kidneys flush out extra salt, gently lowering your blood pressure. They also support eye health thanks to lutein and zeaxanthin. These nutrients help protect against a condition called macular degeneration. And here's a surprising benefit. Shelling pistachios slows you down, which helps with mindful eating so you don't overdo it. It's nature's built-in portion control. Plus, pistachios are easier to chew, making them a great choice for sensitive teeth or dentures. For older adults managing blood sugar, pistachios offer about 3 grams of fiber per ounce, which helps keep your energy stable and prevents glucose spikes. What do I tell my patients? Start small. About 15 almonds in the morning and 40 pistachios in the afternoon. It's not a diet. It's a way to defend your health. Let's talk about a nut that looks fancy, but can quietly sabotage your health after 60. Macadamia nuts. They're buttery, rich, and often sold as a premium, healthy food. But for older adults, macadamia can be more of a burden than a benefit. First, they are incredibly high in calories and fat. Just 1 ounce has about 200 calories and over 22 grams of fat, most of it saturated. That may be fine for young athletes, but for someone with a slower metabolism, this can quickly lead to unwanted weight gain and higher cholesterol. What's worse, that fat puts a strain on the gallbladder, which is a big problem for many older adults who already have silent gallstones. I remember a patient who came in complaining of sudden stomach pain after snacks. It turned out he had been eating a handful of macadamia every afternoon. He didn't realize that the saturated fat was triggering gallbladder attacks. Macadamia nuts are also dense and hard, making them tough on aging teeth, especially if you have crowns, implants, or weaker enamel. Many macadamia products are also roasted in oil and loaded with salt, which adds to inflammation and water retention. Don't forget, these nuts are expensive, and when not stored correctly, their fats go bad, leading to rancid oils that can damage your cells and increase heart stress. Because they're soft and buttery, it's dangerously easy to eat too many. Most people don't stop at 5 or 6. They eat double that without even realizing it. For someone over 60, that can lead to more belly fat, higher cholesterol, and a sluggish liver. So the lesson is this. If you truly enjoy macadamia, treat them like a special treat, not a daily snack. 1 or 2 on special occasions is fine, but don't make them part of your routine, especially if you're managing your weight, cholesterol, or gallbladder issues. Peanuts and pine nuts, the silent saboteurs. Next, let's talk about 2 nuts that are small and seem natural, but can cause more harm than good for older adults. Pine nuts are often found in pesto, trail mixes, or salads. But they can cause a strange and frustrating reaction called pine mouth. A bitter, metallic taste that can last for days or even weeks. For older adults, this can cause a loss of appetite and unhealthy weight loss. What's worse, pine nuts can interfere with up to 60% of medicines commonly prescribed to older adults, including statins, antidepressants, and blood pressure pills. The issue is that they affect liver pathways, making it harder for your body to properly break down drugs. Pine nuts also spoil quickly. Their fats go bad, creating compounds that increase inflammation, especially in your joints and arteries. I had a patient with arthritis who loved trail mix. When we removed the pine nuts, her joint pain decreased in just 3 weeks. Now, let's talk about peanuts. Technically, they aren't even nuts, they're legumes. They grow underground in moist soil, a perfect place for mold toxins called aflatoxins to grow. These toxins have been linked to liver damage and cancer. Even if you don't have an allergy, peanuts can cause inflammation throughout your body, leading to more joint pain, fuzzy thinking, and heart stress. Peanuts are also very high in omega-6 fats, which most older adults already consume too much of. This can throw off your omega balance, fueling conditions like heart disease and mental decline. For patients on blood thinners, peanuts can be a nightmare because they contain vitamin K, which interferes with medicines like Warfarin, increasing your risk of blood clots or bleeding. Most store-bought peanut butter is also full of unhealthy hydrogenated oils, sugar, and salt. My advice: if you're over 60, limit or avoid pine nuts and peanuts. Choose nuts that support your heart, brain, and medicines, not ones that silently undo your progress. Your next step. We've covered 4 nuts that support your brain, heart, and bones, and 4 others that may quietly work against everything you're trying to protect. Best nuts for seniors. Brazil nuts for your thyroid, nerves, and cell health. Walnuts for memory, sleep, and circulation. Almonds for bone strength, cholesterol, and digestion. Pistachios for blood pressure, vision, and blood sugar. Nuts to limit or avoid. Macadamia nuts are high in saturated fat and hard on teeth and the gallbladder. Pine nuts can interfere with medications and spoil easily. Peanuts can cause inflammation, interfere with medicines, and affect the liver. Cashews spike blood sugar, reduce calcium absorption, and increase kidney stress. Each of these choices may seem small, but over time, they add up, shaping your energy, your focus, and your independence. I've seen patients regain clarity, stability, and confidence, not with complicated diets, but with a simple change in their daily handful of nuts. The truth is, your body after 60 is more sensitive and more deserving of foods that heal, not harm. So, I have one powerful question for you. Which nut will you add this week, and which one will you finally let go of? Let me know in the comments below. I read every story and every transformation because they inspire the next person. If this video helped you see nuts in a new light, please give it a like, share it with someone you care about, and subscribe to Health Action, where we share information about aging with wisdom, not fear.